in Walker Buehler. Overhead windup, first pitch of the game. It's a fastball up and away, and that's ball one. Both Yastrzemski and Buehler were Vanderbilt Commodores in 2013. Yaz's junior year, Buehler's freshman year. Here's the pitch. Yastrzemski hits it high in the air, deep to right center field. Kepler streaks into the gap into right center, reaches out and makes a basket grab on the warning track. A long fly out for Yastrzemski, but an out all the same. One up, one down to begin tonight's ball game. It is Max Kepler in right field. No, the Royals are not playing the Twins tonight. Kepler was the Twins right fielder for 11 years. Now he's in his first year as a Philly. Harrison Bader's in center, another former Twin. Brandon Marsh is in left field. First pitch to Bobby Witt Jr. Fastball up and in, and Witt twists out of the way. That's ball one. On the infield, the Phillies have Otto Kemp at third, and Edmundo Sosa's the shortstop. Bryson Stott plays second base. Bryce Harper's at first, and Rafael Marchand does the catching. 1 ball, no strikes on Bobby Witt Jr. Buehler delivers. Fastball popped up foul, back behind home plate and out of play, and Witt lost his bat in the process. It went flying out of his hands toward the third base on deck circle. He might have broken it at the handle a little bit. No, it just slipped, so he gets the bat and some rosin and some pine tar to put around the handle. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bobby Witt Jr. It was 0 for 4 yesterday, and that included going 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. All told, the Royals were 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position last night in what was a 1-run loss. Here's the pitch. Fastball sliced back up the middle, a base hit into center field. The Royals have their first base runner thanks to a 1-out single from Bobby Witt Jr. He's on at first with 1 out for the newest member of the 30 home run, 100 RBI club. That is Vinny Pasquantino, who clubbed his 30th home run of the season in the first inning yesterday. He's also got 102 RBIs, now 4th most in the American League. Witt takes his lead at first. Buehler delivers, and Pasquantino takes a fastball knee high called strike, and it's 0-1. 95-mile-an-hour heat from Walker Buehler, who's now 31 years old. Once upon a time, the 24th overall pick by the Dodgers back in 2015. He delivers. Pasquantino swings and misses at a high cutter, and it's 0-2. Buehler was with the Dodgers for 8 years. That includes the 2023 season, which he missed after having Tommy John surgery. He got the final out of the World Series just last year. Spin and a throw to first. Witt dives back safely, just barely ahead of Bryce Harper's tag. Buehler became a free agent after getting his 2nd ring with the Dodgers, signed on with the Red Sox, but he was released at the end of August. Here's the 0-2. Pasquantino swings and misses at a fastball above the zone. He's down on 3 pitches, and there are 2 outs now in the top of the first inning. Michael Garcia steps to the plate now. He has been among the Royals' most consistent hitters this season, but he is hitting just .171 in the month of September. Buehler spins and throws to first, and Witt dives back safely. And unfortunately, there are a number of Royals who are having a quieter month, and it's all amounted to a month of September in which the Royals have averaged just 3 runs a game, even fewer than they did in June. Buehler delivers a fastball that nips the low outside corner, called strike, and it's 0-1. Top of the first inning in Philadelphia. Runner on first with 2 outs for Michael Garcia. No runs on the board yet. Here's the pitch. Slider misses high, and the count's now 1-1 on Michael Garcia. Now the offense for the Royals has gone especially cold now over the last 13 games. It goes back to the start of the most recent homestand. And the Royals have actually averaged under 3 runs a game since then. Buehler delivers. Witt takes off for second. Fastball down and in. Throw down is second. Shortstop side of the bag. And Stott couldn't put the tag on Witt in time. So Bobby Witt Jr. has a stolen base. His 36th of the season. Now, Rafael Marchand is known for his defensive ability and specifically how quick he's able to get rid of the ball. His pop time How quickly he gets out of his crouch and gets rid of the baseball. Wind beat him that time. He puts himself in scoring position. And now he's got brown dirt all over his gray jersey, top and bottom. The 2-1 to Garcia. Slider skied down the right field line, tailing foul into the blue seats. And the count's now 2-2 on Maikel Garcia. Now, over the last 13 games, the Royals as a team have scored just 36 runs. And remember, 11 of those runs came last Saturday. So in the other 12 games, only 25 runs. That's just a hair over 2 runs a game. Buehler delivers. Garcia pokes it towards shortstop, past Sosa into left center, a base hit. Witt rounds third, he's in to score standing. Maikel Garcia comes through with a 2-out RBI single. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. And so for the second straight game, the Royals strike first in the first. And in this particular instance, the Royals do something that they've struggled to do, not only score a run in general, but also hit with runners in scoring position. First pitch to Salvador Perez. He takes a curveball inside, and that's ball 1. So hopefully a sign of more offense to come. Well, that wasn't the case last night when the Royals scored 2 in the first, but then were held scoreless the rest of the way. The pitch. Salvi swings and misses at a slider, and the count's now 1-1. 1-0 Royals in the top of the first inning on a Maikel Garcia RBI single. That was after Bobby Witt Jr. singled and stole second. The pitch, Garcia takes off, slider down and away. Marchand slings it down, throws high. Garcia's safe with a feet-first slide. The second stolen base of the inning for the Royals. And now Maikel Garcia's in scoring position. And you can tell early on tonight that the Royals are going to be aggressive on the bases. Can't hold anything back now with 15 games left to play.
Philadelphia's challenging the safe call at second base.
Now, Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, and the Phillies are challenging the safe call at second base.
Question is, did he come off for a blink of an eye after getting his foot on the bag ahead of the throw?
The throw was high, and Bryson Stott had to leap to grab it. Garcia slid into the bag feet first, and then got the bag with his left knee, and then maybe came off the bag, and Bryson Stott appears to have held the tag on Maikel Garcia's helmet. Garcia got a little bit twisted on the base and wound up coming off the base towards center field, and Walker Buehler is starting to walk toward the Phillies dugout on the first base side. The outfielders are heading off the field as well. They're convinced this will be overturned. And it appears we have yet another example of a challenged call on a steal at second base because of a millisecond of non-contact with the base. Still waiting for official word from our umpires tonight. Carlos Torres is the home plate umpire. Charlie Ramos, the first base umpire. Alfonso Marquez, the crew chief, is the second base umpire. This is his call that's being reviewed. And Lance Barrett is the third base umpire. Walker Buehler is standing right next to Carlos Torres, the home plate umpire right now, about halfway up the first base line. And everybody is watching the replay on the big scoreboard above the left field seats here at Citizens Bank Park. Meanwhile, Maikel Garcia has not budged from the second base bag. And at least from the naked eye, his lone hope might be that there's not enough evidence to overturn. Maybe his right knee stayed in contact. Maybe his right toe stayed in contact. And at this point, that's one of the questions, maybe one of the requirements here. Is there enough? Maybe. The longer this review takes, the better you feel about its standing, the harder it might be to confirm. Though objectively, there really should be a time limit on these reviews. If you're not sure within this amount of time, then what's to say something is confirmed or enough to overturn it? At this point,
The runner is safe, and Philadelphia will lose their challenge.
well, there you go. The call stands. And so it took that long for them to realize that they did not have clear and convincing evidence to overturn it. And so most of the Phillies defense runs back onto the field. Walker Buehler has had to wait so long that he's throwing warm-up tosses.
Yeah, the definitive look, you would have needed a roof, a dome, or a drone probably to look directly on top of the base down to see if he had come off the bag for a millisecond there. And like you say, the original call was awfully important.
So Michael Garcia leads off second base. 2 balls and a strike on Salvador Perez. The pitch. Slider roll foul third base side at 2-2. Now the Phillies lose their challenge in the top of the first inning. Maybe that'll loom large over the next 6 innings. Once we get to the 8th, we know what happens then. Things we can discuss in December. Here's the 2-2. Fastball high, and the count's now full on Salvador Perez. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the Royals have successfully stolen 2 bases in this inning. Bobby Witt Jr. stole second and then scored on Garcia's 2-out single. Salvi's hoping to do the same thing. Here's the pitch. Fastball fisted, foul ground, first base side. Harper hustles over by the camera well. He reaches out and makes the grab. Salvi's out, and that ends the inning. But the Royals do score in the top of the first inning. The Royals score 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the first at Citizens Bank Park.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down.
To begin the bottom of the first. Righty-righty matchup. Lorenzen delivers. And Bader takes a fastball just low and outside. Ball 1. Kyle Schwarber's on deck. Bryce Harper in the hole. 2 very dangerous left-handed hitters. Harrison Bader has been dangerous himself lately, though. Here's the pitch. Bader fists it towards shallow left field. That drops down in front of Adam Frazier, a base hit. And so Harrison Bader is on base again. He's now got a 5-game hitting streak. In fact, each of his last 4 games, he's had multiple hits. In the Phillies' most recent 4-game series against the Mets, they swept it, and Bader was 10 for 19. So he is now 11 for his last 20. And he's on at first for the most prolific run producer in baseball this year, left-handed hitting Kyle Schwarber. Lorenzen delivers, and Schwarber flicks it in the air foul. Third base side out of play. It's 0-1. Kyle Schwarber has 50 home runs this year. 5-0. 50 home runs. Second most in baseball, most in the National League. He has 123 RBIs, the most in baseball. Lorenzen delivers. Schwarber chops it foul, first base side, and it's quickly 0-2. Harrison Bader leads off first base. He was a trade deadline acquisition by the Phillies, came over from the Twins. The 0-2 to Schwarber. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kyle Schwarber. And the two main acquisitions for the Phillies both came from the Twins in the same deal. Harrison Bader and their new closer now, Joan Duran, who has been nearly unhittable since putting on a Phillies uniform. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Lorenzen gets Schwarber with his slider. So there's the first out in the bottom of the first. We pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Royals Baseball Network.
This is your home for Royals Baseball.
Another powerful left-handed hitter. Michael Lorenzen delivers. The first pitch curveball outside, ball 1. Thanks for joining us tonight in Philadelphia with Steve Stewart and our producer-engineer Eric Guthrie. I'm Jake Eisenberg. The Royals have an early 1-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Runner on first with 1 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Bryce Harper, and he fouls it at the plate, dribbling first base side. The count's now 1-1. Harper has been a vastly better hitter at home this year than on the road. He's hitting .303 at Citizens Bank Park, just .234 away from Philadelphia. He is now in his 7th season as a Philly, if you can believe it. He has been a Philly as long as he was a Washington National. That seems tough to comprehend. Here's the pitch. Skips in, Salvi scoops it up. 2 balls and a strike on Bryce Harper. The 2012 Rookie of the Year, a 2-time MVP in 2015 with the Nationals, in 2021 with the Phillies, an 8-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger. His reputation precedes him. Here's the pitch. Rolled foul, first base side, right into the Phillies dugout, and the count's now 2-2. He has been part of our baseball consciousness for what feels like forever. First overall pick back in 2010 as a phenom coming out of Vegas. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Lorenzen beats him with high heat. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Lorenzen. He gets Schwarber and Harper swinging. 2 outs now in the bottom of the first. And with that strikeout by Michael and every Royals strikeout this season, Sun Life Financial and the Royals Foundation will donate to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City. That brings up Brandon Marsh, another left-handed hitter. Runner on first with 2 outs. The pitch. Marsh chops it to the right side. Michael Massey scoops it up from the outfield grass. He tosses to first in time for the out, and the inning is over. So Michael Lorenzen allows a leadoff single to Harrison Bader, but then retires the next 3 for his scoreless.
Take a hack at
Phillies nothing. We go to the second inning at Citizens Bank Park. Adam Frazier leads off against righty Walker Buehler. Overhead windup, first pitch. Fastball stroked in the air down the left field line. Brandon Marsh races toward the sidewall into foul territory now, and he watches it land in the seats. The ball's in a strike on Frazier. There is only a sliver of foul territory that is in the field of play down the left field line into the corner. It's 329 feet down the left field line, as emblazoned on the yellow foul pole. 330 down the right field line here in Philly. 0-1 to Frazier. Fastball over the inner edge, a strike, and it's 0-2. And then it's 401 feet to straightaway center field. Just to the left of that, 409 feet. The wall angles back. They call that Monty's angle. Buehler delivers, and Frazier fouls it in and out of Marchand's mitt. Still 0-2. It is named after David Montgomery, who helped create this ballpark as part of the Phillies organization. Buehler turns, overhead windup, the 0-2 to Frazier. Fastball popped up, foul ground, third base side. Otto Kemp drifts into foul territory. Right behind the coach's box, he makes the catch. And Frazier's out, one away. That brings up Michael Massey, who's playing for the first time since Monday, despite the fact that he does have an active 3-game hitting streak. On Tuesday and Wednesday, the Royals faced left-handed starting pitchers, and then yesterday the Royals faced Gavin Williams, who has pretty extreme reverse splits. Buehler delivers. Massey fists it foul over the backstop netting into the lower bowl, and it's 0-1. Walker Buehler, on the other hand, has very extreme traditional splits. Lefties this season have hit .317 against him. Righties just .219. Here's the 0-1. Massey punches it toward shallow left field. It's over Sosa and down onto the grass, a base hit. Michael Massey now has a 4-game hitting streak, and he's on at first with one out for Jack Caglione. This is a stretch in the Royals lineup tonight where there are 4 consecutive left-handed hitters. Really 5 consecutive left-handed hitters if you include Mike Yastrzemski when the lineup turns over. Massey leads off first with Cags at the plate. Here's the pitch. Curveball, bottom of the zone, called strike, and it's 0-1. Caglione has been incredibly patient as a hitter since returning from AAA. That has been the most notable difference. Buehler delivers. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, Cags was 1 for 4 yesterday, and he did wind up with a couple of strikeouts. But he has now, to go along with 6 strikeouts, 5 walks since coming back to the big leagues. The pitch. Caglione dribbles it foul third base side, and it's 1-2. One thing in particular that's noticeable is the pitches that he sees per plate appearance. His first stint in the big leagues, he was seeing about 3.5 pitches per plate appearance. Since coming back, it's up near 5 pitches per plate appearance. Buehler delivers. Caglione swings and misses at a changeup, strike 3, so Buehler got him out in front. Second strikeout for Buehler, and now 2 outs in the top of the second inning. And that brings up Kyle Isbell. Royals 1, Phillies nothing. We're in the top of the second inning at Citizens Bank Park. Michael Massey's at first base with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Isbell hits it in the air, straightaway center field. Bader drifts back toward the warning track, backpedals and makes a 2-hand catch. And Isbell's out. That ends the inning. So a 1-out single, but nothing more in the top of the second. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 left on base.
Let's see.
tied for first right now in the American League West. We begin the bottom of the second in Philly. Michael Lorenzen delivers to Otto Kemp. The first pitch fastball that flies high for ball one. The Royals have an early 1-0 lead over the Phillies after Michael Garcia delivered a 2-out RBI single back in the top of the first. Lorenzen delivers, and Otto Kemp takes high again. 2 balls, no strikes. Kemp is a rookie, made his big league debut in late June, and just turned 26 less than a week ago. Here's the pitch. Fastball letter high called strike, and it's 2-1 on Kemp. He has been a hot hitter. Pretty much all the Phillies have been. Kemp's got a 3-game hitting streak. He's 5 for his last 11. That includes hitting a double and a homer yesterday in the Phillies' comeback win against the Mets. Lorenzen delivers, and Kemp hammers it deep in the air, left center field, headed back toward the wall. That ball is off the wall. Isbell gets the carom and relays it back towards second base, and Otto Kemp has a stand-up double. He did not miss a home run by much. It's 387 feet to where the initial left field wall meets that Monty's angle area. Then that wall angles back a little bit further and then back even further to 409. And Kemp hit it off the 387 area. So he's got a 4-game hitting streak now, and he's 6 for his last 12. And he's in scoring position with nobody out for Max Kepler. Kind of weird to see him in not a Minnesota Twins jersey. Lorenzen delivers, and Kepler takes low for ball one. Though tonight he's not wearing a Phillies jersey either. Well, he is, sort of. The Phillies are wearing their City Connect uniforms. Electric blue at the shoulders and then fading into a black gradient around the midsection, and then black pants with a yellow stripe. Lorenzen delivers, and Kepler takes a curveball down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. And then the jerseys say Philly across the chest in big white, kind of Gothic font-looking letters. White numbers on the back as well with a yellow nameplate. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Changeup outside. 3 balls, no strikes on Max Kepler. A Twin for 11 years. He played over 1,000 games with the Twins. Now in his first year with the Phillies. Lorenzen delivers. Outside, that's ball 4. So Kepler takes a 4-pitch walk, and that puts runners on first and second with nobody out. And it brings up Edmundo Sosa, a right-handed hitter. Royals 1, Phillies nothing. We're in the bottom of the second, and Lorenzen's in a jam. Runners on first and second, nobody out. He is no stranger to this ballpark. He, after all, pitched for the Phillies just a couple of years ago. First pitch to Sosa, and he bunts. He pops it up behind home plate. Salvi races after and makes a basket grab on the warning track dirt right in front of the backstop netting. A tremendous reaction from Salvador Perez to pop out of his crouch, flip off the mask, race back toward the backstop, and make an over-the-shoulder grab on a popped-up bunt. That is a huge first out for Michael Lorenzen in the bottom of the second inning.
Those same cat-like reflexes we so often see when he's fielding a bunt out in front of the plate or between the plate and the mound.
Now that was an exceptional defensive play from a 5-time Gold Glover behind the plate. The pitch. Fastball in for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Bryson Stott, a left-handed hitter. Runners on first and second with 1 out now in the bottom of the second inning. Well, Lorenzen could escape with a ground ball to the right spot. Infield is back, shifted to the right side with a lefty at the plate. Here's the pitch. Slider, letter high, called strike, and it's 0-2 on Stott. Well, Lorenzen started the 2023 season with the Tigers, then got traded to the Phillies. Even though his overall results with the Phillies weren't great, he did have one magical night here in Philadelphia. Lorenzen delivers. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. His home debut here in Philly a little over 2 years ago was August 9th of 2023. He threw a no-hitter. Talk about a first impression. Here's the pitch. Fastball slashed foul, third base side out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Stott.
Yeah, that's a tough encore. After
right. You're setting the bar pretty high.
Okay, perfect next time.
Now, overall, Lorenzen wound up with an ERA around 5.5 in his half season with the Phillies in 2023. Here's the pitch. That's low. Salvi scoops it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bryson Stott. Meanwhile, the rest of the Royals are much less familiar with Citizens Bank Park. This is, in fact, just the 13th time that the Royals, as a franchise, have ever played here in the regular season. And they've never had a playoff game here, of course. Lorenzen delivers, and Stott fouls it straight back up and over the backstop netting below the second level. Still 2-2. Now, the Royals did, of course, once upon a time, play postseason games in Philadelphia, the 1980 World Series. But that was a different ballpark and a different generation. Another 2-2 to Stott. Slice toward shallow right field. That drops in front of Yastrzemski, a base hit. Kemp stops at third. Kepler's over to second. Good quick relay back in from Yastrzemski. The bases are loaded now for the Phillies, and it brings up their number 9 hitter, Rafael Marchand. Switch hitter batting left-handed against Michael Lorenzen. So Stott flared it just over Michael Massey at second base, and because of that, Kemp had to wait a half second to see if it would get down. Early on, big spot for Lorenzen. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the second. Royals up 1-0. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Vinny Pasquantino's crept in on the cutout of the grass at first base. Michael Massey is straight away at second. Bobby Witt Jr. up the middle at short. Garcia a couple of steps behind the bag and off the line at third. Here's the pitch. Foul to the plate. 1-1 on Marchand. And the Royals in the outfield tonight have Adam Frazier in left with Kyle Isbell in center and Mike Yastrzemski in right. The outfield is playing Marchand the opposite way. There's way more space in right center field than there is in left center field right now. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung out and missed, and it's 1-2 on Rafael Marchand. He made his big league debut back in 2020, but has not played all that much. He only played 40 games between his debut and the end of last year. He is now playing his 38th game this season. Lorenzen delivers. Little bit high, 2-2 on Marchand. He's a 178 hitter this year with 3 doubles, a homer, and 9 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Marchand pokes it in the air down the right field line. Yastrzemski angles over. He has it lined up in the corner. He makes the catch. Kemp tags from third. Yastrzemski's throw goes to second. Kemp scores standing, and this game is tied at 1. It's a sacrifice fly from the number 9 hitter, Rafael Marchand. And the Royals and Phillies are tied at 1 in the bottom of the second inning. So the Phillies get a run on a leadoff double, followed by a 4-pitch walk, followed 2 batters later by a single to right field, and then a sacrifice fly. And Yastrzemski really had no chance to get Kemp at the plate. He was pretty much on the warning track dirt in the right field corner. So he threw to second to prevent Stott from taking an extra 90 feet. First pitch to Harrison Bader, and that's down and away, ball 1. Bader has become the Phillies' leadoff hitter in the wake of Trey Turner going on the injured list. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's been on the injured list now for just about a week. Here's the pitch. Swung out and missed, and it's 1-1. The Phillies are also without Alec Bohm, their usual third baseman. He was placed on the IL the same day that Trey Turner was. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. So on the same day, the Phillies lost the left side of their infield. Well, they have not missed a step. Here's the pitch. Stott takes off from first, and Bader hacks it foul into the backstop netting. And the count's now 1-2. A big reason why they haven't missed a step is Harrison Bader, who with his single in the first inning is now 11 for his last 20. He is hitting over 400 in the month of September. What an acquisition Harrison Bader has been for the Phillies. He started the year with the Twins and came to the Phillies at the trade deadline. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. Lorenzen got him with a right-on-right changeup. A big strikeout for Michael Lorenzen to strand runners on the corners. He does allow a run in the bottom of the second, but there could have been a lot more damage than that.
Let's see if we can figure out the following base.
Off the ball game, flying out deep to right field. Walker Buehler back to work. The right-hander big leg kick, and his first offerings outside to Yaz, who went 2 for 7 in Cleveland with a couple of walks, a double, a couple of runs scored. He has hits in 3 straight. 0 for 1 tonight. Now the big wind and pitch from Buehler. Fastball called strike on Yastrzemski, who's in right field tonight. He'll be followed by Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino. 1-1 game, hits are even at 3 apiece. Game 1 of 3. And the 1-1. And a breaking ball is chopped foul off to the right. It's 1-2 on Mike Yastrzemski. With the Royals, 36 games, 236 average, with 7 homers, 14 driven in, 10 doubles. 331 on base with that 236 batting average, so an 849 OPS as a Royal. That is an excellent number. On the 1-2 pitch is bounced foul up the first base side. That is comparable to what Bobby Witt Jr. is doing this year in terms of OPS. It's right about what Bobby's is, so he's got a different skill set in some respects from Bobby, but he's had that kind of production. And the Royals offense mostly at the top of the order. 1-2 on Yaz. And the next one from Buehler, swing and a foul on a play off to the left. Another night game tomorrow, then a day game Sunday. 7-game road trip wraps up Sunday. The Royals 1-3 so far on this trip after 4 games in Cleveland. 1-2, fastball's high. 2-2 on the Royals right fielder. Infield shades him slightly around to the right. Third baseman Kemp playing off a third. Very little or no wind here in South Philly tonight. 2-2. Swing and a foul out of play off to the left by Mike Yastrzemski. He likes to make pitchers work. The big reason he's at the top of the lineup. Of course, last night, no better proof than his game leadoff 10-pitch walk to get things started. Turned into a run in the first last night. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the next one to Yastrzemski. Swing, fly ball, shallow left. Out goes the shortstop Sosa. In comes the left fielder Marsh to make the catch for the out. So 2 fly ball outs tonight and 2 at bats for Yaz.
But even when he makes an out, he still makes an impact. He just forced Walker Buehler to throw 7 pitches because he fouled off 4 of the last 6 that he saw.
Yeah, and that has an impact on the game oftentimes and on the starter. And now it's Bobby. He singled up the middle, stole a base, scored a run in the first inning. Right-hander Buehler deals a fastball high, ball 1 to Bobby Witt Jr. Now the 1-0 from Buehler. And Bobby tried to check his swing, but he goes around on a slider from the right-hander. And now the 1-1. And Bobby slices that one foul down the right side, out of play. Nice crowd here tonight. Not completely packed, but a good Friday night crowd. And this has been a great home field advantage for a very talented, high-profile, high-budget ball club in the Phillies. 1-2 on Bobby. Now the pitch to him. He swings and lifts it high in the air on the infield. Shortstop coming in, Sosa. He's calling for it. He's on the infield grass. Now backpedals to the dirt to make the catch. So a couple of pop flies, one to shallow left, one on the infield. It's now Vinny with 2 out, nobody on.
One thing that's worth noting is even though that ball was popped up on the infield and Sosa was relatively comfortably underneath it, Bobby Witt Jr. never stopped running. He was near second base when Sosa made that catch.
So now Vinny struck out his first time. Here's the pitch to Vinny Pasquantino. Fastball's high and away, ball 1.
Now, there are a lot of superstar players that would have jogged a handful of steps up the first base line and then peeled off.
You're right.
But now Bobby.
Now the 1-0. Way up high over everybody, back to the backstop. So it's 2-0 on Vinny Pasquantino. I mentioned Phillies at home, how good they are. Since the beginning of last season, they've got a .678 winning percentage at home, 103 wins, 49 losses. So they were great at home last year, great this year. They've won 7 straight home series, and the 2-0 is a called strike on the outside corner to Vinny Pasquantino. Philly begins the night 87-60, 11 games in front of the second place Mets in the NL East. 2-1 swing and a liner pulled hard but foul down the right side, and it's 2-2 on the Royals' first baseman.
Now, right now, the Phillies' magic number to clinch the division for a second straight year is 5. And the Mets are losing right now 4-0.
And that's with more than 2 weeks to go in the season.
Yeah.
2-2 on Vinny. Buehler kicks and deals, and a fastball is low, and it's a full count.
And they built that big lead because they just swept 4 games against the Mets. They won 4 straight.
Yeah, last night the Mets jumped out to a 4-0 lead early, but the Phillies came back and beat them. And the 3-2 to Vinny. Swing, and he bounces it to the right side. Backhanded hop played by the first baseman Harper. He'll flip to the pitcher covering for the out. Wasn't an easy play for Harper. Kind of an in-between out, but he made the play. And the Royals go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-1 ball game.
Let's see if you can figure out the following
of his former teams, is Philadelphia Ball Club. They've got a great offense, even with guys on the injured list. Kyle Schwarber, a big reason for that, leads off this third inning, and he checks his swing and takes ball one high. A sinker from 6'3" righty Michael Lorenzen. Schwarber struck out swinging his first time up. Left-handed hitting slugger. Infield pulled way around to the right. The pitch to him misses low, and it's 2-0 on Schwarber, who's drawn 99 walks, by the way. 174 strikeouts now. And 50 home runs. 2-0, and he'll check his swing and take it away. Now it's 3-0. So 3 true outcomes are big with Schwarber, that's for sure. Home runs, walks, and strikeouts. But great year. And the 3-0. And there's a called strike from Lorenzen. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Brandon Marsh, the 2, 3, and 4 batters. And the 3-1. And that is over but low ball 4. There's the second walk issued by Lorenzen tonight. Well, the Phillies in the month of September, and you want to add a couple of days in August, since August 28th, the Phillies have the best record in the big leagues, 11-3. They're second in runs per game at 6. Second in batting average in the major leagues this past month, or past few weeks anyway. First in team ERA, first in run differential. And they're doing everything right now, and ball one is taken by Harper, who stands in with a runner at first and nobody down.
And in that same span of time, this goes back to just before the last homestand, the Royals have lost 8 of 13.
1-0 on Harper. The pitch to him. He swings, hits it the other way. Deep left center field. That ball is out of here. Well beyond the 374 sign in left center field. And it's a 2-run opposite field homer for Bryce Harper, his 26th on the year. And Philadelphia takes a 3-1 lead.
Well, after a leadoff walk, Michael Lorenzen was trying to get strike one on Bryce Harper after he fell behind in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. And that sinker was well over the heart of the plate.
Right at 400 feet into this very happy, very partisan, understandably, Philly crowd. And Brandon Marsh will bat now. The base is empty and nobody out. Left-handed hitter looks at a strike. So Harper with his 26th homer, RBIs 71 and 72 on the year. 0-1 on Marsh. The pitch to him, and he'll flinch, take it a little bit low. Brandon Marsh, another Philly that's red hot. 463 his last 11 games before tonight. Tonight 0 for 1 with a ground out. Now the 1-1, and he'll swing and miss at a good change from Lorenzen. Marsh 463 over his last 11 games with 6 extra base hits, 10 runs scored in those 11 contests. He's their cleanup hitter. 1-2, and the pitch from Lorenzen. Swinging a foul back on Brandon Marsh, the veteran.
That's to your point. I was looking at the lineup today, Stu, going up and down, trying to figure out who was cold in the Phillies lineup.
1-2 on Marsh. Here it comes. And he'll take it low, and it's 2-2. Marsh, originally a second-round pick by the Angels out of high school down in Buford, Georgia. And he came up with the Angels in 2021. He's been a Philly since 2022, and he fit right in. With his power and his long hair, everything fit right in with this Phillies team. And there's a pitch upstairs. 3-2. Michael Lorenzen already at 50, pitches on the night. And here it comes. And a swing. Fly ball hit well. Left center field. On the run is Bell. Will play it off the fence. And Marsh is going to round second. He'll head for third. Bobby's relay throw is late. It's a triple for Marsh, his second on the year, and it almost got out of here.
That was a really tough play for Kyle Isbell, and the way he went after that ball maybe speaks to the Royals in general unfamiliarity with the ballpark, because Isbell got pretty close to that ball. He reached out, but then at the last moment he pulled his glove back. I think he thought he was much closer to the fence than he actually was. He was angled going onto the warning track, and once he felt that dirt, he pulled his glove back, and the ball landed right in front of him as he was running.
It was a changeup away, and looking at the replay, it actually was outside the strike zone. He had to reach out of the strike zone, left-handed batter, and shoot it the other way toward the alley in left center. So even reaching for it, he sent it a long way. And Brandon Marsh is at third with still nobody out in this Philadelphia third inning. They're already leading 3-1, and now it's come in now with a runner at third and nobody down. Right-handed hitter Kemp pulls it foul up the third base side. Kemp is 26, and he's a rookie. This is his 52nd big league game. Right-handed hitter playing third base. Here's the pitch to him, and he'll swing, pull it through the left side of the infield, through that drawn-in infield for a base hit, and it brings in a run as Marsh comes in from third. So Bobby diving for it to his right, couldn't get to it. And again, that's always the gamble when you bring the infield in. A long-time baseball cliche, you raise the batter's average 100 points and you bring the infield in. That's the gamble, and that time the Royals gambled and lost, bringing the infield in. And the Phillies have their fourth run. They're up 4-1. So Kemp has had a good night already. A double, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Now it's Max Kepler who lines one to right field, and that's down for a hit. Over to play it is Yaz. Kemp's going to go first to third. And a nightmare of a third inning so far for Michael Lorenzen and for the Royals. Sosa, the sixth man to bat in the inning. A leadoff walk and then 4 straight hits. And Sosa swings and misses at a first pitch breaking ball. Sosa, the former Cardinal, is 29. He popped out foul. A good play by Salvi to catch a pop foul to retire him back in the second inning. Next pitch is in on the fists and fouled off. 0-2 now on Sosa, the native of Panama City. Has 7 homers, 12 doubles. He's got a career high 33 RBIs with still a couple of weeks to go in the season. And the pitch to him, and he'll swing, pull it to third. Garcia has it. He'll come home with it. Salvi will lay the tag on Kemp for the out. So going to second is Kepler. Sosa reaching on the fielder's choice, and with the Royals already down 4-1, Garcia able to fire home and get an out and keep a run from scoring.
It's not as if the Royals infield was playing in either. That was a play with a high degree of difficulty, but to your point, a high degree of awareness. So runs have been at such a premium for the Royals offense that limiting the other team as much as possible is more important than maybe trying to turn a double play in that situation.
So now it's first and second, 1 down. Let's see if the Royals can get a double play ball. Bryson Stott will be the hitter. He singled to right field his first time. Left-handed hitter. He's their second baseman. First and second, 1 out. Lorenzen deals, and Stott tried to hold up with a swing, but he goes around for strike 1. Another hot Philly, Bryson Stott, including tonight, is now 6 for 12 on this homestand. Kepler leading from second base, Sosa from first, and the pitch, and is taken low, and it's 1-1 on Bryson Stott, former teammate of Kyle Isbell at UNLV. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Lorenzen deals, and a swing and a grounder toward the middle to his right. Massey has it, flips to second. Bobby the relay 2. Oh, a big double play right there to keep the Phillies from doing any more damage. But damage they did. They put up 3. We go to inning number 4. It's 4-1 Philadelphia.
The last blast of summer.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player
Perez, Frazier. Michael drove in a run with a base hit in the first inning. He also stole second base. So he stands in against Buehler right here. And the first pitch is a fastball called strike on the Royals' third baseman, who's had kind of a quiet September and went 2 for 14 in Cleveland with a double and a walk, but got off to a good start in this series in the first inning tonight. Now he takes a strike and is quickly 0-2 on Michael. Now the 0-2 pitch, and it's a fastball high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Royals began the night 5 games behind the final wild card team, Seattle. Mariners play another West Coast game later tonight against the Angels, game 2 of that series. Here's the pitch, swing, and a grounder right to the second baseman, Bryson Stott. He'll flip to first, and now that's 6 in a row set down by Walker Buehler since a Massey bloop single back in the second inning.
Well, what a wild American League West it's turning out to be.
No kidding. That's right. Seattle and Houston are now tied for the AL West lead. So by tomorrow we could be saying the Royals are chasing just Houston. Right now they're chasing both as Salvi stands in and takes a strike. Salvi popped out foul to the first baseman Harper his first time. Buehler looks into his catcher Marchand. And the 0-1 pitch waved at and missed to the breaking ball.
Meanwhile, the Rangers are only 2 games back of the Astros and the Mariners, and they opened up a 6-0 lead over the Mets.
In New York tonight with Jacob deGrom pitching against the Mets. 0-2, and it misses down and away. 1-2 on Salvi.
And it's so funny. The Royals' focus is so much on chasing the Mariners or the Astros or whomever. But those 3 teams, their focus is they're trying to win their division.
1 ball, 2 strikes on the captain. Here it comes from Buehler. Swing, and he chops it foul.
The Rangers have underperformed all season long, and they've now won 4 straight and 7 of their last 10.
And all the injuries, and Texas just 2 games back of Houston and Seattle, and of course also 2 games back, as you say, in the wild card. Then Cleveland 3.5 back, Royals 5 back in the wild card. 1-2 pitch, swing, and Salvi jammed on that pitch, fouls it up the third base side. So Cleveland tonight opens a series with the White Sox. And we know the White Sox are a better team than they were a year ago. Martin Perez will go for the White Sox tonight. Tanner Bybee going for Cleveland. And the pitch to Salvi. Swings and pops it up. Foul territory behind the plate. Marchand, the young catcher, gives it a look, but it's backing out of play. And we'll do it again. 1-2 the count. White Sox and Cleveland are scoreless in the top of the third inning at Progressive Field. 1-2 on Salvi. Putting on 1 out here in the fourth inning. Here's the pitch from Buehler. And Salvi waves and misses and strikes out. Number 3 on the night for Walker Buehler, who came in with a 5.45 ERA, but his last 8 starts with Boston, his ERA was 3.77, had 2-1 record. He has a pedigree, first-round pick, 2-time All-Star. Now it's Adam Frazier standing in, left-handed batter, and he'll take a strike. Frazier popped out foul to the third baseman Kemp his first time. And the next one. And it's down in the dirt. Squirts away from the catcher. Frazier is a Royal. 273 batting average. He had 255 as a Pirate this year. 3 homers, 17 RBIs, 9 doubles, an OPS of 716. Which is, again, well better than what he was doing with the Pirates. There's a swing and a soft liner over the leaping second baseman Stott into right field for another hit for Frazier. It comes with 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
Oh boy, that had to feel good. That snaps an 0 for 15 for Frazier.
Time to get hot again. Now Massey. He had a bloop single to the opposite field his first time up. He's been hot. Came in .333 his last 12 games, and now a hit tonight. Frazier on base for Massey. Pitch to Michael, and he'll take a breaking ball low for a ball. Massey just 2 homers on the year, but we certainly have seen power from him at times in his young career. Health has been his enemy, but when healthy, he can do some good things. 1-0. Now the pitch to Michael, and he'll take a big cut and miss. We had Daniel Mack on the pregame show, Royals VP Assistant GM. He's the charge of research and development, a.k.a. analytics. And Massey was one of the younger hitters that he mentioned. The Royals still like the upside on Michael. Not just this year, but in the future. 1-1, and that one misses low. And it's 2-1, but you just hope, and as Michael does and the Royals do, that they can keep him healthy. That's been the challenge for Michael as a collegiate player and then as a pro player. Minors and majors. 2-1. Swing and a ball pulled foul. And Jake, Massey's one of the players, even though the Royals, they've had a lot of injuries on the pitching side, but going into the year, you hoped that a healthy Massey would be a stable, very productive second baseman for this team. Instead, the Royals have had to use a lot of guys over in that position. Of course, Massey's also played left field, done well out there. Here's a pitch down low. And the Royals knew, because of his injury history, that they wanted to move him around, and maybe left field might be a little easier on his back. 3-2 if that's possible. So, but disappointment all around, just the fact that he hasn't been healthy all year.
And nobody more disappointed than he is.
Yeah. 3-2 right now on Massey. Runner at first, Frazier, 2 down. Frazier takes off, pitch swing, grounder up the first baseline, foul.
Because the thing of it is, the first half of the season, when he was healthy, he was not producing nearly to the caliber that he expected. Certainly not to the caliber that we saw in the postseason last year when he was the Royals' best hitter. He tied for the team lead in hits during the postseason, had that huge hit at Kauffman Stadium against the Yankees.
Yeah, Massey had 14 homers last year, 15 homers the year before that in the regular season. 3-2, runner goes, and it is ball 4 low. So Massey draws the walk. So with 2 down, a single by Frazier, a walk drawn by Massey, and now it's Caglione. Royals are down 4-1 here in the top of the 4th. And now Caleb Cotham, their pitching coach, comes out for a mound visit with Walker Buehler. I want to remind you that the Royals Foundation Radiothon, presented by Wholesale Batteries and by IBEW Local 124, is coming up next week, September 16th through the 18th, as the Royals host the Mariners. During our pregame shows on the Royals Radio Network, you'll hear firsthand accounts of the impact the Royals Foundation has on the greater Kansas City community. To support the Royals Foundation, go to royals.com/donate.
Would love to see Jack Caglione add to the Phillies landscaping bill.
That would be nice, wouldn't
and
it?
Send one into the hedges behind the center field fence.
They've got an impressive array of hedges out there beyond the 401 sign, straightaway center. First and second, 2 down for Cags, who struck out swinging his first time. Right-hander Buehler deals, and a swing and a miss at a fastball. Cags was thinking about those hedges as well with that swing, it looked like, but he came up empty. 0-1 the count on the Royals DH tonight. Now the pitch, and it's high, and it's 1-1.
And not only has he not homered since coming back to the big leagues, but he does not have an extra base hit since coming back up to the big leagues.
1 ball, 1 strike. Buehler from the belt, checks the runner at second, now deals, and a swing and a high fly ball, right field, Kepler under it. Unfortunately, Cags got under it and stays in the yard. Just shy of the track. It's caught by Kepler. The Royals strand a pair. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 4-1 Philadelphia.
Steve's wife signed him up for a 5K.
And he gets Rafael Marchand, their catcher, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it off to the right. Marchand is a switch hitter batting left-handed, native of Venezuela. 4th big league season, bouncing up and down between the minors and the majors. Tonight, he has driven in a run with a sacrifice fly in his first plate appearance. Now the 0-1, and a fastball misses high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marchand. This is his 38th big league game this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lorenzen kicks and delivers. And a swing, fly ball toward the alley in right center field. Kaggs won't get to it. It's going to bounce up against the fence. And Marchand's into second with a leadoff double. Right now we pause for station identification on the Royals Baseball Network.
This is your home for Kansas City sports.
And now back to the top of the order, and it's Bader hitting one deep to right field. Back goes Kaggs. It's off the fence. The runner at second had to hold up. Now he's going to come around third. He comes home. Relay from Bobby is not in time. It's an RBI double from Bader, and the Philadelphia lead is 5-1. With nobody out in the inning, Royals have Daniel Lynch, lefty, warming in their pen. Schwarber tonight, a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. Runner at second, nobody down. Infield swung around to the right for left-handed hitting Schwarber. First pitch, swing and a miss. 0-1 on Schwarber. Schwarber is 32. Big question is, where is he going to play next year? There's a pitch outside. Of course, came up with the Cubs. He was a first-round pick by the Cubs in 14 out of the University of Indiana. Now he's been with Philly since 22. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a slicer foul out of play off to the left. 1-2 on Kyle Schwarber. This is a home run hitter's type of ballpark. Ball is always carried well here. Fairly friendly to the alleys. 1-2 on Schwarber. Now the pitch. And a fastball misses high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 in the pitch. Swing and a foul back. Good cut that time on a fastball. Runner at second base is Bader. And the pitch. And it's low. Still nobody out in this Phillies 4th inning. Philly is just about wrapped up their division. As Jake mentioned, their magic number to clinch the East is just 5 with a little over 2 weeks to go. 3-2 on Schwarber. Now the pitch. Swing and a high popper right side foul ground. Vinny going over toward the Phillies dugout, but it's going to be backing out of play. The Phillies are 2 games off the pace of Milwaukee. Milwaukee has the best record in the National League, so they would have the number 1 seed in the National League if the season were to end today. So Of course, Milwaukee just got swept in Texas this week, so Philly's been gaining on them. There's 2 games back of Philly for that best record in the NL. 3-2 on Schwarber. A look at second. Now Lorenzen will step off and bluff towards second base. And the crowd loves it, as is always the case when you're the visiting pitcher and you step off.
Thankfully, I don't see any nickels anywhere.
3-2. Schwarber waits. Lorenzen delivers. And a swing and a liner to right field. That's going to be down for a hit. All the way to the fence as Kaggs will play it off the fence. Coming around to score is Bader. Into second with a head-first slide and an RBI double is Schwarber. And the Phillies lead it 6-1. Back-to-back-to-back doubles. And that's going to be it for Lorenzen tonight with nobody out in this 4th inning. Daniel Lynch has been warming. Matt Quatrero coming out to the mound. And Lorenzen really struggling in a park where he once threw a no-hitter. Pitching change here in the 4th inning with the Phillies leading it 6-1.
Close your
Lynch has a 2.98 ERA. Lefty, the pitch misses away. It's 2-0 now on Harper, who had a 2-run opposite field homer in the 3rd inning. He's also struck out. Phillies put up 1 in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd, 2 so far here in the 4th. Right now, Schwarber's at 2nd, but nobody out. And the pitch is a called strike. Fastball from Daniel Lynch. '28-year-old lefty, 54th appearance, 2.98 ERA as we mentioned, 2-1, swing and a tapper foul. Lynch pitched an inning and 2/3 Monday in Cleveland, stranding a couple of inherited runners. He's gone 2 innings in 5 of his last 12 appearances, so he's been doing multiple innings out of that pen, and coming in as he is here in the 4th inning, wouldn't be a surprise to see him asked to do that again. 2-2, and it's a little bit high. Harper holds up. Harper hitting .303 at home. He got a .265 average overall. 14 of his 25 homers, now 15 of his 26 homers have been at home. Loves hitting here. 3-2, and it is ball 4 down and in. So all 4 Philadelphia batters here in the 4th inning have all reached.
That easily could have been called strike 3. Lynch did not get the call. Harper did.
So that means it's first and second. And the batter is Brandon Marsh, another left-handed hitter. First one to him. Swing, and he pulls it to the right side. Vinny has it, goes down to second for one. Bobby will not make a relay throw. Wasn't hit very hard. They get the out at second base. And that erases Harper as Marsh reaches. Schwarber goes to third. So now they're at first and third with one out. And a single and a run scored. First and third for the right-handed batter. One down. Here's the pitch from Daniel. Big swing and a miss. So a rough one, to say the least, for Michael. 6 runs on 10 hits over 3+ innings. First and third, one out. Lynch comes set. Now delivers. And it's taken outside by Otto Kemp. Two years ago, the Royals won 1 out of 3 in this yard. And the pitch. And a fastball misses low. And it's 2-1.
And 2 years ago, I remember the Royals came here after a perfect homestand, swept the Mets and the Twins. It was when Bobby Witt Jr. hit that walk-off grand slam. They took the opener here, made it 7 wins in a row.
2-1 pitch. And that is a called strike on the inside corner. And that was a team that lost 106 games.
It was, and they finished a lot stronger than they started.
Right.
I remember that weekend we were here. That was the weekend that Phillies fans gave Trey Turner a standing ovation after he'd really struggled.
They were showing great support for him. 2-2. Swing and a fastball fouled straight back. Good rip there by Kemp.
It was among the more electric moments and atmospheres that I think we experienced a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And, of course, Philadelphia fans are famous for being tough on their local athletes. But Turner was a situation where they were trying to help him. 2-2. Swing. Grounded to short. Bobby has it. Goes to second one. Massey the relay. 2. So a 6-4-3 double play. What a job by Lynch to get out of a mess. We go to the 5th inning. The Phillies lead at 6-1.
The big hits.
ball in his Phillies debut. He delivers, and Isbell takes a fastball just a tick high, and that's ball one. Well, the Royals entered tonight 5 games back in the third wild card spot. Buehler delivers. Fastball over the outer half, a strike, 1-1. And including tonight, only 15 games left to play, which means the Royals really need to average picking up a game a series down the stretch to even pull into a tie with the Mariners and the Astros. That is some difficult math, to be candid. The 1-1. Isbell rolls it softly to the right side. His college teammate and former roommate Bryson Stott scoops it up and tosses to first in time for the out. And now there's one away. And Stott's got a little bit of a smirk on his face. And maybe if the score were different, Kyle Isbell would too. Back to the top of the lineup in Mike Yastrzemski, and now here's another battle of college teammates, Yastrzemski and Buehler. Overhead windup in the pitch. That's a fastball letter high, outer edge, called strike one. Now the Mariners, they just keep on winning. They've won 6 consecutive games, including back-to-back extra inning games. They had another one last night. Here's the pitch. It's high, 1-1. And it wound up being their rookie Harry Ford, who had the walk-off RBI. He doesn't even have a big league hit yet, but he had the walk-off sac fly for them in the 12th. The pitch. Yastrzemski pops it up, shallow left field. Marsh hustles in. Kemp ranges out from third. He makes the catch. That retires Yastrzemski 2 away. And we got into Philly late last night after the Royals finished the series in Cleveland because the Mariners are on the West Coast. That game was still going when we got to the hotel in Philadelphia, so popped it on. And, of course, they went to extra innings again. And the Mariners television broadcaster, Aaron Goldsmith, mentioned something that was interesting. First pitch to Bobby Witt Jr., fouled away first base side, 0-1. He said, I quote, "Here's one to impress your friends with. In the automatic runner era, the Mariners are the first team to play back-to-back games of at least 12 innings." Eric's eyes just widened.
It is rare.
Buehler delivers down and away, 1-1. And the Mariners won them both. The Etsy Witches are at it again. The Mariners have now won 6 in a row. The Rangers have won 4 in a row, with a bunch of players they're calling the Little Rascals. Here's the pitch, outside, 2-1. Michael Hellman has emerged as a force to be reckoned with. Cody Freeman, a rookie, has played really well for them. Now the 2-1 to Witt. Inside, and it hit him on the hand. Got him on the right hand. He's shaking out his wrist, and he takes his base. He doesn't seem all that much the worse for wear. He's taking off his protective gear, and he's on at first with 2 outs. And so that's the rub in the wild card race. And when you get down into the thick of it, there are going to be teams that surge ahead. There are going to be teams that fade. It has to happen in one direction or another for a team or another. And unfortunately, while the Mariners and Rangers have surged, Guardians too for that matter, the Royals have been among the teams that have faded. First pitch to Vinny Pasquantino. It's down and in for ball one. The Royals have lost 6 of their last 10, 8 of their last 13. And the Royals are as far back in the postseason picture as they've been in like a month and a half. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. The last time the Royals found themselves 5 or more games back was entering play on July 21st, series opener at Wrigley Field. The Royals were 48-52 and 5.5 games back. Thrown to first, and Witt dives back safely. Well, the Royals had a terrific end to July, an outstanding month of August. Well, the Royals surged in August and put themselves on the doorstep. Buehler delivers. Pasquantino takes low and away. 2 balls and a strike on Vinny Pasquantino. But it has been a September swoon that has unfortunately looked very much like the month of June. In June, the Royals went 8-18. And the offense really struggled, but so did the pitching in June. It was a difficult month all around. Here's the pitch. Swung out and missed, and the count's now 2-2 on Vinny Pasquantino. So the Royals need wins, and they also need some help. And so far tonight, they are getting neither. The Royals are down 6-1 in the top of the 5th inning. The Rangers are winning. The Mariners play later tonight. The Guardians are winning right now. Here's the pitch. Curveball cued off the end of the bat, spinning third base side. Buehler picks it up on the grass, no throw. Vinny Pasquantino has an infield hit. And Buehler tosses the ball to the Phillies dugout with a little bit of frustration. So a 2-out hit batter and a 2-out infield single. It went off the very edge of Vinny Pasquantino's bat. And he's got a smile, and he's looking back at the Royals dugout third base side. Only speedsters get infield hits. No doubt that's what has Vinny a little bit amused right now. So first and second with 2 outs for Michael Garcia. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1.
You know, I referenced the interview we had with Daniel Mack, analytics chief for the Royals on the pregame show. We're talking about Vinny, and one of the things he brought up was the fact that Vinny, relatively speaking, is not a high strikeout guy.
Buehler delivers. Garcia takes a fastball low. 2 balls, no strikes.
And when you strike out, you have no chance for an infield hit. So making contact is a big deal. And you know, Vinny's done a lot of things well this year, including making contact. A lot.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Garcia chops it back up the middle. Sosa ranges to his left. Gloves. Backhand flip to stop covering second. He's there in time to force out Vinny Pasquantino. And that ends the inning. So the Royals get a couple of 2-out base runners, but do not score. Walker Buehler, in his Phillies debut, completes 5 innings of 1-run ball. For the called strike 1. The Lynch finished off the 4th inning for Michael Lorenzen, who did not record an out in the 4th. Lynch delivers, and Kepler takes low, 1-1. All told, Lorenzen was charged with 6 runs on 10 hits in his 3+ innings. Lynch delivers, and Kepler slices it into shallow center, a base hit. And so for the 5th time in 5 innings, the Phillies have the leadoff man on base. That brings up Edmundo Sosa, a right-handed batter. Lorenzen faced 20 batters tonight. Half half of them got hits. And that includes 6 extra base hits, 4 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Here's the pitch. In for a strike. And it's 0-1 on Sosa. That has been rough for Lorenzen since coming off the injured list from his oblique strain, including tonight a 6.18 ERA in his 6 starts. Lynch delivers, and it's a little bit high, 1-1. And the shame of it is he'd been throwing so well before going on the injured list in early July. He threw 7 shutout innings in Arizona, his best start of the year. Here's the pitch. It's low, 2-1. And then Lorenzen, just a couple of days before his next scheduled start, wound up with food poisoning and then wound up with an oblique strain related to some of the retching that he'd done. Lynch delivers, up and away. 3 balls and a strike on Sosa. Now, Lorenzen entered tonight's game as the last member of the opening day rotation standing, and is very much a part of the story of the Royals season. Here's the pitch. Fastball bounced softly left side. Witt charges, scoops, flips to Massey covering second. In time for the out. Relay to first. A double play. For the second time in 2 innings, Daniel Lynch induces a ground ball double play. And so now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And Bryson Stott steps to the plate. Royals down 6-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Over the outer edge, strike 1. Every single one of the Royals members of the opening day rotation has been on the injured list at least once this year. 4 of them are on the injured list right now. Lynch delivers. Stott flares it foul, out of play behind the netting. It's 0-2. Now, Chris Bubich has been on the injured list since late July, done for the rest of the season with a rotator cuff strain. Cole Reagans has been on the injured list with a rotator cuff strain since early June. The pitch, blowing outside, 1-2. Seth Lugo is currently dealing with a back injury, though he threw a bullpen today and is scheduled for another in 2 days' time. Here's the pitch, blowing outside, 2-2. And Michael Wacha is currently on the 7-day concussion injured list. Reagans is making a rehab start tonight with AAA Omaha, his 2nd rehab start. The pitch. Stott chops it softly left side. Witt charges, scoops, throws on the run to first. It's in time for the out, and the inning is over. Reagans, by the way, tonight, 3 2/3 scoreless innings of 1-hit baseball with 7 strikeouts. Right now, Omaha and Charlotte are in the 4th. So good stuff for...
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show.
Now it is lefty Tanner Banks facing Salvi, leading off the 6th inning. First one to Salvi. Fastball's a called strike. 6-11-0 for Philly. 1-5-0 for the Royals. Banks works from the first base side of the rubber, this lefty, and now deals to Salvi. He pulls it foul, who's in on him. Banks worked the 8th inning of Tuesday night's win against the Mets. He gave up a run on 3 hits over 1 inning. This is his 63rd appearance of the year. 0-2 in the pitch. Salvi swats it foul. So the Royals took a 1-0 lead in the first, but it's been all Phillies since then. 1 in the second for them, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And now the 0-2. And Salvi tried to hold up with his swing, and they say he did not go around. So Salvi may have caught a break right there. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Bottom line is it's 1-2 now on the Royals catcher, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He's popped out foul to the first baseman, and he has struck out. Banks delivers. Salvi jammed, pops it up, foul, and out of play back behind home plate. Banks is 33 years old. We've seen him with the White Sox in past years, 22, 23, 24, now in his second year with the Phillies. 3.32 is the ERA in 62 appearances. 5-2 the win-loss record. 56 strikeouts, only 10 walks in 62 games. So he has thrown a lot of strikes. There's a swing and a foul back as he jams Salvi again. In fact, Banks, we mentioned that only the 10 walks in his appearances this year, and Salvi takes a pitch high. 10 walks last year, 10 walks this year. 10 walks this year in 62 and a third innings. He is in the 98th percentile of low walk rate. There's a fly ball left field, sending Marsh back, reaching up, making the catch on the warning track, and then goes gently into the left field fence. So Salvi gave it a pretty good ride, but it's caught by Marsh for the first out of the inning. And now a left-handed hitter in Frazier, who has popped out foul to third and singled to right. Banks has held lefties to a 177 batting average. So we'll see how Frazier does here. Frazier takes a strike. Six-1 Phils, top of the 6th. And the lefty deals. And a fastball misses low. Frazier broken 0 for 15 with his single to right in the 4th inning tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the lefty deals, and a swing and a ball pulled just foul up the first base line. Just foul. It was 76 at game time here. A little warmer than Cleveland was. Little humidity in the air today in Philadelphia as it's beginning to warm up. Certainly it's warmed up in Kansas City quite a bit. Warming up around here a little bit. 1-2 on Frazier. Now the pitch, and he shoots it foul down the left side. We knew it was going to be a tough road trip going to Cleveland. Always a very tough place for the Royals to play. And coming here, facing the Phillies in their yard, one of the best teams in the game. There's a breaking ball pulled foul off to the right. 2 more games here in Philly. Tomorrow night, it'll be a 5:05 start. Kansas City time. We'll be on at 4:30 tomorrow with a pregame. Ryan Berger trying to bounce back after a rough one in Cleveland the other night. And Taijuan Walker, fellow right-hander, will go for Philly tomorrow evening at 5:05. 1-2 on Frazier. The pitch, swing, and he pulls another one foul off to the right. And then Sunday afternoon, a 12:35 start. We'll be on at noon. Noah Cameron coming off a good outing in Cleveland. Noah will go up against Aaron Nola, so it will be the Noah-Nola matchup here Sunday afternoon. And then the Royals head home for their final homestand beginning Tuesday night. 1-2 Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Frazier. So Banks, a fly out by Salvi, a strikeout of Frazier. 2 up, 2 down for the second Phillies pitcher on the night. And the batter will be Massey, who's reached base both times he's been up there. A bloop single, and he's drawn a walk tonight. Left-handed hitter Massey facing this lefty. Cues one foul off the end of the bat off to the left. Foul. Third base side on Massey. So Buehler goes 5 innings, 5 hits, just 1 run allowed. That came in the first inning. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. So Buehler's Phillies debut went about as well as they could have hoped. 1-1 now on Massey as he takes the ball low. 90 pitches, 59 strikes for Walker Buehler. 1 ball, 1 strike on Massey. Nobody on, 2 down. The pitch, swing, fly ball, left center. Over goes the left fielder Marsh into the alley to make the catch. The Royals go 1-2-3, and we go to the bottom of the 6th with the Phillies on top 6-1. So Sam Long, pitcher number 3, following Lorenzen and Lynch. It's all L's tonight for the Royals pitcher Lorenzen. 3+ innings, 6 runs allowed. Daniel Lynch, very good. 2 scoreless frames in a tough environment against a tough lineup. And now it's Long's turn, and he gets the number 9 hitter, Rafael Marchand, who's had 2 very productive plate appearances out of the number 9 spot in the order, leading off the 6th. First pitch a ball, next pitch fouled out a play off to the right. Daniel Lynch tonight, no runs on 1 hit. 1 walk, no strikeouts, but bottom line is 2 scoreless innings, and there's a wave and a miss. Lynch inherited a base runner, and that runner did not score. And he got a big double play ball. So he got 2 big double play balls in his 2 innings of work. A good job for Lynch tonight. He worked 26 pitches to get those 6 outs. 1-2 on Marchand, the number 9 hitter, and he'll take one way upstairs. Switch hitter batting right-handed. He drove in a run in the 2nd inning with a sacrifice fly. That tied the game at that point 1-1. And then he led off the 4th inning with a double and later came in to score. And that one misses low. Now it's a full count on the number 9 hitter with Harrison Bader and Kyle Schwarber to follow Marchand, playing in his 38th game this year for the Phils. The pitch is fouled out a play off to the right.
And lo and behold, he's got a sacrifice fly and a double tonight.
He's done his job for sure. Their backup catcher looking good. And the payoff pitch. And a swing and a ground ball by the diving Bobby Witt Jr. for another hit. He's been up 3 times and he's had 3 productive plate appearances. Now 2 hits and a leadoff single right there. And his 2 hits have each led off innings tonight.
Something about the Royals facing a Phillies backup catcher. They always seem to have their best games. Last year there was the Garrett Stubbs game. And this is not all Rafael Marchand tonight, but he's certainly been a big part of it.
He sure has. As we know with the Royals, when Isbell at the bottom of the order does good things, oftentimes the Royals wind up winning. There's a wave and a miss by Harrison Bader, who's the leadoff man in the batting order. He tried to hold up with a swing, and he did. It's 1-0 the count on Bader.
Well, it hasn't mattered who's actually been leading off the innings. They've reached base.
That's true.
6 for 6.
Yeah. Bader 1-0. Takes a fastball in. Right-handed hitter. 2-0 the count. Bader a single, an RBI double, a run scored. He's 2 out of 3 tonight. Two 2-0 on Bader. Now the pitch from Sam Long, and it's a called strike. Sam came into this outing with a high ERA of 5.30. This is his 35th appearance. 2 wins, 3 losses, and there's a pitch in on the batter, and it got his bat handle, a foul ball, and then rolled up the first base line. So 2-2 on Harrison Bader, their center fielder. He cleaned up against the Mets, part of that sweep. He was a big part of it. 10 for 19 in that 4-game sweep of the Mets this week. And so now with his hits tonight, he's hit in 5 straight. All 5 games of this homestand. Phillies trying to make it a 5-0 homestand if they keep the lead and finish the job tonight against the Royals. Now the 2-2 is way outside, and it's 3-2. Sam Long failed to strand an inherited runner for Angel Serpa in the 4th inning Wednesday against Cleveland. Now the 3-2 from Sam, and a swing and a foul backing out of play. Sam came back from the injured list on June the 20th. So he's been back almost 3 months. 27 games. He has not allowed a run to score in 21 of his 27 outings in that time. The pitch and a swing, and the ball pulled foul as he comes off speed that time. This is game 11 for the Royals of 13, or game 10, I should say. No, game 11 of 13 in a row. I'll get it right. Sunday will be the end of a stretch of 13 consecutive days of baseball. There's a ground ball left side. Big hop for Garcia. Goes to second for 1. Massey the relay. High throw, safe at first. It's going to be a close play either way, but it was a little bit high to Vinny, who had to go up and get it. So they get the out at second. Bader, who runs very well, is on at first base with 1 out now, and that'll bring up Schwarber, who, like most of these Phillies hitters, is having a good night. He has scored a run, driven in a run, double, drawn a walk tonight. So lefty-lefty here with Schwarber standing in. First one from Sam Long is a called strike. The Royals will be in Sam Long's hometown 2 weeks from tonight. Final regular season series of the year. The Royals will visit the Athletics. 0-1 the count on left-handed hitting Schwarber. Lefty-lefty. Long delivers, and it's down low. Not only did he grow up there, went to college there, and he knows the town very, very well, of course, and it'll be interesting to go there. It's the home of the Giants AAA club, and that's the stadium the Athletics are playing in temporarily while they build a new home in Las Vegas. So that's the home for the Athletics, and the Royals will be the final opponent there this year. Here's the 1-1, and a breaking ball misses away. It's 2-1.
And once upon a time, Sam Long was a Sacramento River Cat. And in fact, when he was there, Jose Alguacil was his manager. So there are a couple of members of the Royals that know that ballpark pretty well.
Quite the homecoming in 2 weeks. 2-1. Now the pitch, and it's in, and it gets away. And did it hit the bat of the batter? Apparently so. Yeah, got the bat handle, so it's foul ball, 2-2.
I'll tell you what, I bet Sam Long, when he was told the news he was going to be a big leaguer, never thought he'd play a big league game in that ballpark.
No kidding.
I haven't looked to see if there are any players that have played a home game for the River Cats and then wound up on the A's and played a home game for the A's this year, or vice versa.
2-2. Now the pitch, and a swing and a miss at a fastball. And there's a strikeout of Schwarber, so good job there by Sam Long. There's the second out of the inning. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, well, of course, Vegas is the home of ironically, the A's AAA team. So there have been, Vegas, I would imagine, probably had a series in Sacramento this year, so some guys would have played. I don't know. Swing and a miss now by Harper. It gets confusing because you have a team moving to Vegas who has its AAA team in Vegas.
I just want to know who's played a home game there as a minor leaguer and as a major leaguer this year.
Yeah. Or even played a game as a major leaguer, as a home and a visitor. There's a little flare into right center, a hit for Harper. Station to station they go as Bader stops at second base. So it'll be interesting to be there. One thing's for sure is the grounds crew has earned their the major league team is not home. So there was talk that when the Athletics were going to locate there for a few years, that they might put an artificial turf to make it a little easier to take care of the turf. But the Players Union reportedly objected because it's, for one reason, it's so hot there in the summertime. They didn't want to make it any hotter than it already was, so they're playing on natural grass there. Here's Brandon Marsh taking a pitch outside. So anyway, 2 weeks from tonight, the Royals will be there to open a 3-game series against a team that's been pretty spunky this year, a team that was tough on the Royals earlier this year, the Athletics, as Brandon Marsh is up there for a 4th time. Here's the pitch, and he takes a strike. It's 6-1 Phillies here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Philly with Bader at second base, Harper at first base, 1 out. And Brandon Marsh, their cleanup hitter, who has a triple and a run scored tonight at the plate. 1-1. Now the pitch. And a swing and a miss by the left-handed hitter. They had to build new clubhouses in that stadium for the major league teams. The clubhouses are out beyond the outfield fence in that stadium. So it's a bit of a hike to the clubhouses for the big leaguers now. 1-2, and the pitch, and a swing and a miss at a breaking ball way outside, and Long strikes out Marsh and puts up a scoreless 6th inning. And we go to the 7th with Philadelphia leading this game 6-1.
The last blast of summer.
Oh, the
pitcher. He is number 54 lefty Tim Mayza, Mayza. And we've seen this young man before. He's 33, so he's been around a while. He was a longtime Blue Jay. Came up to the Jays for the first time in 2017. He was with them all the way till last year. And then over to the Yankees, and then this year Pittsburgh, and then over here to Philly. But most of his career has been in the American League with Toronto. 6'3", 33-year-old lefty facing Caglione, who's the DH tonight, and he takes the first pitch. A little bit low for ball one. Caglione has struck out and flied out to shallow right. Mayza kicks and delivers, and it's a little bit low. 6 runs on 13 hits for the Phillies tonight. 1 run on 5 hits for KC. Mayza has a 2.25 ERA in 10 outings. There's a pitch low, and it's 2-0. He's from Millersville, PA. 12th round pick 12 years ago by the Jays, and the pitch is a called strike on Caglione. Now the next pitch, and a big swing and a foul off by Cags. In 2023, 2 years ago, for Toronto, Mayza in 69 appearances put up a 1.52 earned run average, struck out 53, walked only 15. Really had a dream season. There's a ball pulled foul up the first base side. Their starter tonight, Walker Buehler, and he looked great in his first game as a Philly with 5 innings, 1 run allowed. They're very happy with that, no doubt. Tanner Banks worked a scoreless 6th inning, a 1-2-3 6th inning with a strikeout. Cags waiting for a 3-2. Here's the pitch from Mayza, and a fastball is outside ball 4, and Cags draws yet another walk. His on base percentage since coming back from the injured list, and his rehab assignment in Omaha has gone way up. 346 was his OBP in the 6 previous games before tonight, and now he's on for the first time with a leadoff walk in the 7th inning. Tyler Tolbert now will bat. Randall Grichuk has grabbed a bat. Yaz is due up next, the right fielder, but it looks like Grichuk will bat for him. So Tolbert pinch hits, and he looks at a strike. Right-handed batter. Tolley was a big part of that win on Wednesday night in Cleveland, as he pinch ran, stole a base in the 7th inning, came home to score a big run to tie the game. Now he'll wave and miss. 0-2 on Tolbert. Tyler hitting .216 on the year in very limited duty as a batter. As a base runner, he's getting it a lot more frequently. He has stolen 18 bases in 20 tries. That's a 90% success rate. Very good. And it's now 1-2 on Tolbert. Caglione at first. Nobody down here in the Royals 7th. Mayza, the lefty, works on the third base side of the rubber in the pitch. And a swing and a liner toward the middle. That's into center for a hit. Cags will stop at second, so a walk and a single from the 8 and 9 hitters. So one pinch hitter comes through, and Tolbert right there, and now it's going to be Grichuk batting for Yastrzemski, who went 0 for 3 tonight. Let's see if Randall Grichuk can come through here as the Royals see if they can make some noise here in the 7th. They're down 5. Now a mound visit from the catcher, Marchand. That's Tolbert's first pinch hit. He's now 1 for 7, so big moment there for Tolley to get his first pinch hit single in the big leagues.
Do you save that baseball?
Why
for
not?
Your first career
Why
pinch
not?
hit?
Why not? Especially if you gave your first hit to your parents, you can keep that one. And the pitch, and a breaking ball misses low to Grichuk.
I wonder if he got the base from his first steal.
Interesting.
I'll ask him.
Do they give you that free, or do you got to buy it? It's a little more expensive than a baseball. 1-0 on Grichuk. Now the pitch. And a swing. Fly ball the other way, right field. Kepler back, shy of the track, makes the catch. Kaggs tagging at second, heading to third with one out now. So first and third, one down, top of the seventh for Bobby Witt Jr., who has singled, stolen a base, and scored. He's also been hit by a pitch. Officially, 1 out of 2. You know, Bobby with one swing could put the Royals right back in this game. They're down 6-1, but they have them at the corners with one out here in the top of the seventh. Kaggs at third, Tolbert at first. Bobby stands in. Lefty Meza from the stretch deals. Bobby takes a good rip, fouls it back and out of play. 0-1 the count on the Royals shortstop. 21 homers, 41 doubles, 5 triples. Tonight he stole his 36th base of the year. 0-1 on Bobby Witt Jr. Now the pitch, and he takes it a little bit low. You got to figure Bobby's due to heat back up as the season's beginning to wind down. Maybe his finishing kick begins right here. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Royals shortstop. Meza comes set. Now the 1-1 and a breaking ball. Bounce to the right side. Glove by the first baseman. Harper flips to the pitcher and out at first base. And a run comes in to score. So Kaggs scores. Close play at first, but they get the out. So it's a 6-2 ball game. Going to second, Tolbert. So Bobby gets a run in, drives in his 78th run of the year. So now it's 6-2, and the batter is Vinny Pasquantino. Infield hit for Vinny tonight. He's 1 out of 3. He's struck out, grounded out, infield hit. Runner at second, 2 down. Pitch to Vinny. Fastball called strike. Came in .367 his last 8 games. OPS north of 1,000. 7 RBIs in those 8 games. 0-1. Lefty, the pitch. And Vinny jammed. Pulls it foul, cracks his bat. He was in on the bat handle, and he'll go get a new bat as it's now 0-2 on the Royals' first baseman. So the Royals get their first run since the first inning. They scored 1 in the first, and they didn't score again until the one they have scored so far in the 7th inning. Tolbert's the runner at second base with 2 down. 0-2 on Vinny Pasquantino. See if Vinny can get on here. With Michael Garcia on deck. Meza deals. And there's a breaking ball that misses outside to Vinny Pasquantino. Vinny, the 10th player in Royals history with a 30-homer, 100 RBI season. Here's the 1-2. And a swing, and he swats it foul off the catcher. Royals have lost 4 of their last 5. And, of course, 3 of 4 in Cleveland, but including Sunday, 4 of their last 5. They've lost 8 of their last 13. 1-2 pitch, and a fastball fouled off by Vinny. And in those 8 losses in their last 13 games, they've scored a total of 12 runs in those 8 losses. So piling up runs has been a huge problem, and it's been a problem tonight as well. They've only scored twice, and they trail 6-2 here in the 7th. Here's the 1-2. And a bouncer to the right side. The second baseman, Stott, has it. Underhand flip to Harper. And the Royals are down in the 7th. They do get a run. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-2 Phillies. 32-year-old Taylor Clark came in with a 3.14 earned run average, 40 strikeouts, 6 walks. So about a 6.5 to 1 strikeout to walk ratio in his 44 previous outings. 1-1. Now the pitch. And it misses high. And it's 2-1 on Kepler. Taylor surrendered 1 run on 3 hits and a walk Monday in Cleveland. 2-1. Now the pitch. And it misses inside. 3-1 the count. That run that Clark allowed Monday in Cleveland was sparked by a leadoff double by a name that became a little more infamous as the series went along, C.J. Kefis. Now the batter calls for time with the 3-1 count. Kefis was the one who hit the 2-run homer in the 8th inning last night to give Cleveland that 3-2 lead as they came from behind to beat the Royals. The Royals were going for a series split and came up short last night. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a high popper left side, foul ground. Pitcher and third baseman going after it, but they're both going to be running out of room as it's about 3 rows behind the Royals dugout on the third base side. With the left-handed batter up there, Garcia was over in the shortstop hole, and Garcia runs very well, but that was a long run for him. Taylor Clark was in the best position to go get it had it stayed in play, but it was back into the stands. 3-2 on Kepler here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody on, 1 out. 3-2. Taylor Clark from the belt. 3-2 pitch. And it is high, ball 4. So a rare walk issued by Taylor Clark. That's only the 7th walk he has issued all year. So a strikeout and a walk to begin the night for Taylor Clark. And now Brian Sweeney will jog out, as Weston Wilson is going to pinch hit. So it's a scouting report for the veteran Clark as he faces a pinch hitter. Edmundo Sosa was due up. So Brian Sweeney's out for a mound visit right now. Weston Wilson, who's 1 for 8 on the homestand, he will be the pinch hitter right now. Weston Wilson, by the way, is 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Right-handed batter, runner at first, 1 out. Right-hander Clark deals. First pitch is a called strike in the knees. Wilson was called up from their AAA club on the 18th of July. 31-year-old Weston Wilson out of Clemson University. Here's the 0-1 swing, and it's pulled foul up the third base side. This is his 3rd year of action with the Phillies. He got into 8 games in his first crack at Major League action just 2 years ago in his late 20s. And then he got into 41 games last year. This is game 45 for him this year. 0-2 on the right-handed batter. Clark delivers, and a breaking ball bounces in front of the plate. Salvi blocks it. Wilson was originally a 17th round pick by the Brewers 9 years ago, so he really spun his wheels in the minors for a long time. 6'3", 215, 31-year-old Weston Wilson. W-E-S-T-O-N. 1-2 on him. Taylor comes set. Now the pitch, and it's low, and it's a 2-2 count. It's 6-2 Phillies. Royals took a 1-0 lead in the first. Phillies tied it with one of their own at the bottom of the second. The Phillies put up 3 more in the third, 2 more in the fourth. They haven't scored since, but it's held up so far. They lead 6-2 now in the bottom of the 7th. 2-2 on Wilson, and the pitch, and a swing and a liner pulled foul down the left side off the side netting. The Brewers are winning their game over the Cardinals 4-0 middle of the fourth. Phillies only care about that because of their hope to become the #1 overall seed. They're 2 games behind Milwaukee for the best record in the National League. From the Royals' standpoint, Guardians have a 3-0 lead over the White Sox as they play in the bottom of the 8th inning in Cleveland tonight. David Fry has homered for Cleveland in that one. Wilson waits for a 2-2. Here it comes. Swing, grounded to short. Bobby has it. Goes to second one. Massey the relay. It's a one-hopper to Vinny. It was late. And it was going to be a tough double play to turn anyway. But they get the out at second. And Wilson, the pinch hitter, replaces the runner at first base. So runner at first, now 2 down.
And that game in Cleveland, Stu, Tanner Bybee has thrown 8 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. He has not issued a walk. He's only given up 2 hits, and he's only thrown 90 pitches. He's got a chance for a complete game shutout and a Maddox. Less than 100 pitches tonight.
Well, that makes a pitching coach and manager happy for a lot of reasons. You want to win. There's a pickoff throw, runner back. You want to win, and you'd love to save your bullpen for the rest of the series. And of course, they had to use relievers with pretty good frequency in the series of the Royals this week. Cleveland's starting rotation's been on an incredible roll the last 10 days or so. And we saw it firsthand the last 4 days.
I think, Stu, that the Royals are challenging the pickoff play at first base. Well, the ruling on the field was safe, but I think Taylor Clark's pretty convinced that he got Wilson over there.
Taylor, of course, with a great pickoff move. We're looking at it on the big board right now. And boy, it was close. The runner Wilson over there trying to get back with his right hand. He was on the outside,
I think
far
he got
side
him.
of the bag. You think they got him?
I think he got him on the back of his right arm, on the tricep.
And it was the arm with which that hand was trying to touch the base ahead of the throw. Taylor has such a good pickoff move. And if it's overturned and he's out, that ends the inning. And you've got the challenge. You might as well use it here in the 7th inning.
And Kansas City will lose their challenge.
Royals lose their challenge, such as it is with
that call stands. And I'll be honest, looking at the replay that we've seen on the video board here, that is a surprising stands call.
Interesting. So now it's Bryson Stott. He has singled, twice grounded out. One of those groundouts turned into a double play. Now the Guardians are up 4-0 over the White Sox. Meanwhile, the Rangers are winning big at the Mets tonight. 8-3 in the bottom of the 7th. And runner goes. Pitch is low. Throw down to second is not in time. Head first slide. Stolen base for Weston Wilson.
Now that was pretty close too, but because the Royals no longer have their challenge, that's not something they could challenge. They could, if it was the next inning, request a crew chief review, which, as we know, has only been denied once in the history of replay. But since it is still the 7th inning, they'll have to settle for the call on the field by the crew chief, Alfonso Marquez, at second base.
First stolen base for Weston Wilson. He's at second now with 2 down, 1-0 on Stott. The pitch to him misses low from Taylor Clark. Trying to keep it a 4-run deficit. It's a big deficit, but you don't want it to get any larger. The Royals still have a couple of chances to come up to the plate and cut into this. 2-0 now on Stott. And the pitch. And it's a called strike. Stott, S-T-O-T-T. Bryson, B-R-Y-S-O-N. Stott. At least they didn't name him Scott. Probably his uncle's name. 2-1. And now the pitch. And a swing and a fly ball hit well. Deep right. And Grichuk watches it go. A 2-run homer by Bryson Stott. His 11th on the year. And Philadelphia's lead is now 8-2.
I'll say the word you just said. Uncle. Well, what a frustrating sequence with the pickoff at first base that looked like it was an out, even though it stood on review.
Yep.
Then the steal that also looked close enough that would have been worth challenging, but there was no challenge. And then the home run, and that is a backbreaker.
Number 11 for Stott, RBI 62 and 63. And there's a called strike on Marchand, the number 9 hitter. So their number 8 hitter in the order, their second baseman, has 63 RBIs. That's what kind of offense this team has. When this guy is not Stott is not one of the guys they've been leaning on for big production this year, but even as kind of a secondary offensive player, he's having a very good year. 1-1 now on Marchand. Nobody on, 2 down, 8-2 Phillies. They've out hit the Royals 14-6. Second homer of the night for the Phillies. There's a grounder toward the middle. Bobby right behind second base has it. He'll fire to Vinny, and that will end the inning. But a 2-run homer by Stott extends the Philadelphia lead. We go to the 8th inning. It's 8-2 Phillies.
In the direction that the Royals really need them to go. Michael Garcia leads off the top of the 8th inning. New pitcher on the mound for the Phillies is right-hander Orion Kerkering, righty out of their bullpen. Meanwhile, Bryson Stott slides over to play shortstop, and Weston Wilson stays in the game to play second base. Kerkering delivers, and Garcia flicks it foul out of play off to the right. It's 0-1. Well, the Royals enter tonight chasing the Guardians, Rangers, Mariners, Astros, and Red Sox and Yankees in the wild card race. Kerkering delivers. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 on Garcia. 5 of those 6 teams are currently winning their game. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1. The only team that's losing is the Red Sox, but, well, here's the catch. They're losing to the Yankees. So, one of them has to lose, and that also means that one of them has to win. Kerkering delivers, and Garcia chops it down the third base line foul. It's 2-2. The Yankees right now have a 4-0 lead over the Red Sox. Top of the 7th inning. Luis Gil has thrown 6 no-hit innings for the Yankees, but he's now done, and Fernando Cruz is on the mound for the Yankees with a no-hitter intact. Here's the pitch. Punched foul out of play off to the right. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meanwhile, the Astros have an 11-1 lead over the Braves. That's bottom of the 7th in Atlanta. The Mariners play tonight against the Angels. So, sure, technically they're not winning, but they haven't played yet. The pitch. Carved foul out of play off to the right. Still 2-2. The Rangers hung 6 on the board against Jonah Tong in the top of the first inning at Citi Field in Jacob deGrom's return to Queens. And right now the Rangers lead 8-3. That's in the top of the 8th. Another pitch. And Garcia bounces it off the mound, back up the middle, a base hit into center field. A leadoff single for Michael Garcia. He's 2 for 4 tonight, and he's on at first to begin the 8th inning. That brings up Salvador Perez. And last but not least, among the teams the Royals are chasing, Stu told you the Guardians have what's now a 4-0 lead over the White Sox. Top of the 9th inning in Cleveland. And Tanner Bybee is through 8 1/3 shutout innings on an even 100 pitches now. Kerkering delivers, and Salvi spins and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Salvi is 0 for 3 tonight, a foul out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Aside from a couple of home runs, his bat has gone cold over the last 2 weeks. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground foul, third base side, 0-2. And Stu told you how much the Royals offense has struggled over the last couple of weeks, really since the start of the last homestand. And in that span, Salvi is just 6 for 51, including tonight. Here's the pitch. Roll to the left side. New shortstop Stott scoops it up. Over to Wilson covering second for 1. Relay to first is in time for 2. That's a double play. And so Kerkering erases the leadoff single. And the bases are empty with 2 outs for Adam Frazier. He snapped an 0 for 15 with a single back in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Royals down 8-2, top of the 8th inning. Kerkering delivers, and Frazier takes a strike, a letter-high fastball. It's 0-1. And the Royals have been out-hit tonight, 14-7. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped up, foul ground third base side. It's out of play, 0-2. This is Kerkering's 63rd appearance this season. He still has an ERA under 3 at 2.98. Walks have gone up a little bit, but he has limited damage very effectively. He delivers up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adam Frazier. Now, Kerkering really burst on the scene a couple of years ago. He had started the year in the lower levels of the minors with the Phillies and then made his way up to the big league roster by September. The pitch. Swung out and missed, strike 3. And by the end of 23, Kerkering was throwing meaningful innings in the postseason, and he's poised to do so again. A leadoff hit, but the Royals wind up going down in order thanks to a double play ball. No runs a hit, no errors, none left. Bottom of the 8th next. Royals
take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
of the Phillies lineup. So a good challenge for Avila. First, Harrison Bader. And the pitch. And it's a fastball over the inner edge at 96, called strike one. Now, Avila might have factored into the Royals' starting pitching depth plans at one point this year. He delivers. Fastball outside, 1-1. You heard Matt Quattrero talk about that with Ryan before tonight's game. He mentioned Avila, who was a starter until he got hurt. Now he's a reliever for the last month of the year. Mentioned a couple other guys, too. The pitch. Foul tipped in his Salvi's mid, a strike, 1-2. Mentioned Alec Marsh, who hasn't pitched this year. Kyle Wright, who made a couple of rehab starts, but then wound up on the injured list again with an oblique injury. So he has not pitched in the big leagues this season. The pitch. Popped up foul, out of play off to the right. Still 1-2 on Harrison Bader. Mentioned a couple of guys, too, that showed some flashing in the spring training. Steven Zobak and Tyson Guerrero. Maybe they factor in the pitching plans next year. Here's the pitch. Rolled foul, third base side. Still 1-2 on Bader. One thing is for certain, that come next spring, assuming everybody is healthy, well, the Royals, on paper, have a really impressive list of starting pitching options. Avila delivers. Check swing at a high fastball and appeal to first. He held 2-2. Cole Reagan, Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, Chris Bubich, Noah Cameron. Avila delivers. Flick foul out of play off to the right, still 2-2. And then Brian Bergert, who's starting tomorrow night. Stephen Kolek, who delivered his third consecutive quality start with the Royals last night. And those are just the pitchers that we know will be there. Avila delivers. That's inside, 3-2 on Bader.
And it doesn't matter how long that list is. Hopefully it's as long as possible. The cliche still holds. You can never, ever have too much pitching.
Payoff pitch. Swung out and missed, strike three. Nasty curveball from Luinder Avila. So he strikes out Bader, and there's one out in the bottom of the eighth inning. Now, the Royals only needed 9 different starting pitchers last year. This season, they've needed 13. So we'll see if Avila is part of that starting pitching depth for next year, or if he challenges for a spot on the opening day roster. First pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Fastball hit high in the air. Straightaway right field. He got under it. Randall Grichuk drifts in. He makes the catch, and Schwarber is out, 2 away.
I'm sure others have said it, but I remember Pete Rose saying one time, at least one time, when you think you have enough pitching, go get more pitching.
Oh, it's sort of what J.J. Piccolo did at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You think you had enough pitching, and then here's Kolek and Berger.
They have been just critical to allow this team to stay in contention into September.
And it's really why they are. First pitch to Bryce Harper. He chops it on the ground, left side. Witt backhand stop, deep short plant. Throw to first, in time to get Harper. A star player throws out another star player. A terrific grab from Bobby Witt Jr. on the backhand. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Luinder Avila in the bottom of the eighth inning.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball
against Walker Buehler in the top of the first inning. The Phillies tied it, though, in the bottom of the first inning. Then they scored 3 more in the third, 2 of them on a 2-run homer from Bryce Harper. And then Michael Lorenzen did not record an out in the 4th inning. He gave up 3 consecutive doubles to start the inning. The Phillies added 2 more, and the Royals found themselves down 6-1 before Michael Lorenzen exited the game. First pitch to Michael Massey. Fastball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Lorenzen was charged with 6 runs on 10 hits in his 3+ innings. And the Royals have scratched 1 run across since the first inning. That was in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Massey hits it in the air, shallow left field. Marsh sprints in. He's underneath it and makes the catch. 1 away. Well, right after the Royals scored 1 in the top of the 7th, Bryson Stott hit a 2-run homer for the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th. And so that erased the ground the Royals had made up and also extended the Phillies' lead. Here's Kaggs, who's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. And Carter Jensen's grabbed a bat, and he's now in the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. Fastball skied straight away right field. That is hit to the top of the ballpark. Right fielder Max Kepler's underneath it, and he waits a while for it to come down in his glove. Kaggs is out. 2 away, and the Royals are down to their final out. Should we play Guess That Height?
Sure, now.
It's a little tougher when it's not a dome.
Yeah.
Eric did just say it in my ear.
He just said 199.
I guess, well, that spoils it then. 199.
Was that his
gotta be a
guess or
season
his?
high. We haven't played Guess That Height in a while. Can bring that one back.
Imagine the white knuckles if they had a ceiling 200 feet high here.
First pitch to Carter Jensen, and he takes a strike, and it's 0-1. I do remember a spring training story from a long, long time ago where somebody dropped a grapefruit out of a plane as a prank and had somebody catch it. The pitch bounces in, 1-1. And I think this might be a little bit apocryphal, but I think as the story goes, that's one of the reasons why they call it the Grapefruit League in Florida.
Really?
I think so.
Well,
we'll come back to that another time.
Otherwise you call it the Orange League or something.
The 1-1. Jensen fouls it straight back into the netting, 1-2, and the Royals are down to their final strike tonight. Carter Jensen's pinch hitting. This is just his 13th plate appearance as a big leaguer. He is 1 for 8 with a double. Couple RBIs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Bounces in. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Carter Jensen. They're starting to play some of the music from Rocky with 2 outs and 2 strikes here in the 9th. The pitch. That's high, 3-2. And, well, the Royals are going to need a Rocky-like get-off-the-mat moment tomorrow and the final 14 games of the year if they want to play into October. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and the ball game is over. The Royals drop the opener at Citizens Bank Park. They lose to the Philadelphia Phillies by a final score of 8-2. The Royals have fallen back to 500. It's the first time that the Royals are at 500 since at the end of play on Wednesday, August 13th. The Royals are now 74-74. The Royals scored first tonight, but the Phillies scored more and scored last, and the Royals lose 8-2. We're back to Philadelphia after this.